Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the ESL India Premiership 2018 Summer Season Masters League going on. And what we just witnessed some time ago was Clash Royale, where the beast, Sutikshan, my man from
Jammu and Kashmir.
And?
Leh Ladakh.
Yes! 100 points to Angela. And Beast won the Clash Royale game. And right now we're in the thick of things here. Right now in the middle of the hullabaloo for today. Counter-Strike Global Offensive lined up for you guys. A very interesting game. And all of this brought to you by Omen by HP, HyperX and Intel. And of course, presented to you by Northern Gaming and ESL.
Yes.
And now moving on, we have a very interesting game lined up. So before we head into what's happening and what's not going to happen, let's really take a look at both the teams first. Let's take a look at ATE Gaming. All right, Kappa and gang there. That's Team ATE Gaming now. In fact, let's quickly, without wasting any further time, let's quickly first take a look at the opposition, the glorious Brutality. Alrighty then, well that's Team Brutality. Now we have clarity on the fact which two teams are going to be having a showdown against each other. That's ATE Gaming versus Brutality. Now, before we head off to the map pick veto, very interesting lineup. Brutality and ATE Gaming. In fact, Kappa and Krish make a very, very good combo.
That's true.
Now, considering first of all the fact that Adi is not here in the house today, apparently he's fallen sick.
Yeah.
So it's up to us, divine intervention. The powers have been granted to us to analyze this game and break it down. So for the benefit and humor of ESL in ESL India Premiership 2018, we'll do it. No, but on a very serious note, basis on previous games which ATE has played, pretty. Not really a lackluster performance, but they're pretty much there. They're one of the top contenders if you look at it.
I think 11th on the board as of now.
Yeah, but again, still remember, it's a long Masters League. When I say that they are one of the contenders, you never know. Kappa is known to overturn games. Krish is usually found in very good clutch situations. And that's... See, ATE plays on individual skills predominantly as a team. Yeah. Whereas when you look at Brutality, they're more strat-based team. They recently acquired Fox and A-Star. This is predominantly their old lineup, as Adi likes to put it. That's before Adi joined Brutality. And now Team Brutality is a very, how would I say, is it wrong to call them a very Gujarati team?
I wouldn't say that.
I'll tell you why. Because everybody has their own individual scenes. Like Juventa has his own business, and they all take out time for good Counter-Strike to play with the people they like playing. It's more or less like it's been maintained over the course of years.
I think Brutality has always been more of a family.
Exactly. That's the word I was fetching for.
Even though I'm not really a CSGO player, as a lot of people know, I have always followed this team because they've always kept their mark up high. They've always seen to it that they're very professional. And now that I've seen A-Star and Fox come back into the roster, I've not really watched a lot of games of theirs, but I'm really excited to see how this particular fair would work out, because ATE, as we know, they were predominantly one of the most famous teams in the country. And then we have Brutality also, who are considered one of the most famous teams in the country. And I've also heard that Brutality likes to really change things in the late phases of games.
Oh, well, not really change things, but Brutality has been known and renowned as the comeback team, one of the teams which have been known and renowned in the Indian history of Counter-Strike Global Offensive as a team which makes excellent comebacks. True. I mean, they have one of the best toppers in their roster. They have Ricks there, no doubt about it. No absolute doubt about it. And my production has just informed me that while we were bantering about both these teams, the map pick veto has occurred. So let's quickly take a look at what's in store for us. So as we can see, Cash and Cobble were banned by Brutality, and also Nuke were banned by Nuke was banned by ATE. Okay, so my feed is slightly my feed is slightly goofed up here. So Train was also banned by Brutality, I was informed, and Nuke, Mirage, and which other map is this? I cannot see. Angie, can you see this? Oh yeah, Overpass. Nuke, Mirage, and Overpass got banned by ATE Gaming. That left us with Inferno. Now it's a very interesting thing to see that Brutality is not playing on a map like Cash. They outrightly banned it. They did not want to play on it. And Mirage coming as a ban from ATE Gaming says a lot about the fact that both these teams are in here for blood, because I'll tell you a little bit. Good thing for you also, Angie, because you're joining me for CSGO and sitting with Adi for countless number of CSGO games. I've realized one thing. So predominantly good fact is also the fact that Mirage is a more puggy map, more aim-based map, and they know Brutality and a person like Rix is not to be trifled with. Let's move that map out of the equation, because if you see tides turning against your favor, you know that it's the bad draft of the map to be picked. And Inferno is a more strat-based map. You predominantly have to acquire genuinely acquire control of either the apartments or the banana. In fact, while we're at it, let's quickly take a look at the map first. Let's take a look at Inferno.
Inferno. This map is not like any other traditional CSGO map. It does not revolve heavily around mid-control. The two most important areas of control are the apartments and banana. You lose control of either one of these areas and you're going to have a bad time.
All right, so like I was talking about before we headed off into the map description there, very important and essential to establish control over banana and studio, what am I saying, studio, apartments.
Yeah.
I'm in a studio, so I'm like studio. So very important to establish control over banana and apartments, because essentially banana, because rotation becomes way too easy for you, or to fake a bomb site becomes way too easy for you. And apartments genuinely also for the same, pretty similar reasons altogether. In fact, without wasting any further time, I'm informed that the server is up and the players are ready.
Who are you rooting for? That would be my one question to you before we get into this game.
Yes, tell me.
I think who would be the one team that you're rooting for between Brutality and ATE?
I will root for Brutality for the simple reason, very simple reason, because okay, let's understand the dynamics here. This is Inferno. This is not a pug style map where aim-based mechanics will help you. You have to really think your way through. You have to double think your way through. We've seen teams come back from 16-5 on this very map and take over the game and end it on one mistake. They encashed one mistake. That's all it takes. So a good strat. Brutality is a very well-renowned team to utilize good strategy, good calls, and good rotations. These guys know their rotations absolutely and vehemently well. And if they utilize their basic team instinct, their basic team ideologies and practices, I'm pretty sure this game is pretty much set and done in Brutality's favor. So I'll go with Brutality this time.
All right. I'm also going to go with Brutality
because you're friends with Ankit Venom Pant.
No, I'm actually friends with the whole team, but Brutality did it because I've just followed them for a longer time.
Bull. I refuse to believe it. You just said Brutality because I analyze that Brutality is going to win. No, that is why Angie is piggybacking on my excellent analysis.
I just know all of the players in the team. I'm not analyzing CS. It's not my game.
My shining analysis is the reason why you're piggybacking on it, Angie.
Definitely. Your shining analysis. I'm going to tell Adi that it was your shining analysis that brought
Adi is going to be like, there was nothing. Adi is like, it was always going to be Brutality. There's no doubt. You ask Adi in any Brutality match, he will go for Brutality. I think deep down inside, even though he's an analyst, he's doing so well with the ESL, the agency ESL and Nordwin. I think deep down inside, he's still a Brutality player. He is still a Brutality player. And that's something I'm saying this on social media live. Aditya Adisha, irrespective of whatever happens tomorrow, he's 70, 75, 80, he'll still, somewhere deep inside his heart, still end up being a Brutality player. And I think that's what sets him and sets the entire scene for the team.
Yeah.
La Familia, like they say. It's a family, one big family. So on that note, let's quickly head off into the game. I've been informed that Fett is not going to be joining us. Yes! No, I'm just kidding. Sadly, Fett is not going to be joining us. We are going to be joined by Mamba Senior, Senior Snake Mamba, And of course, my favorite caster,
Blair.
the guy with the how would I say, the sexy voice of CS:GO in India, none other than Sudan Blair Weinbaum. Over to you, gentlemen. Over to you.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Ranjit Mamba Senior Patel, and welcome to another day, another matchup in the ESL India Premiership. And alongside me, I have a man who needs no introduction at all. The man, the myth, and the legend, Sudan Blair Weinbaum. Welcome to the show, buddy.
Thank you for having me. It's been a while. It's been a while since I've casted some Indian Counter-Strike. It's always yummy, isn't it? Like tasty, a lot of masala, a lot of action, and it is a cracker of a game. It's like one hell of a game. It's going to be ATE. Pretty old school name, pretty famed name. Yeah, they're going to be facing off against Brutality, and yeah, this is some big names facing off. Yeah.
It's two huge names there, but two teams which have been around for a very long time. It's looking like it's going to be a mid-take coming in from the Terry side, and look at that. Everyone just walking in. Juventus is going to find the first frag. Hellfighter again, get the refrag as well. Rix again, get the refrag. So it's just refrags coming from both sides. It's going to be Foxy though going in towards A bomb side. Falling back, being spot right. They're trying to survive. He's going to find the first headshot onto Kappa. Will get traded really quickly though by Hellfighter. It is going to be Venom on the backside. Spotting the first guy. He's going to miss a lot of shots, and look at that though. That should not have happened. Venom, he should really hit those, but he's going to fall back though. A 2v2 situation. The bomb has not been planted. They do not have to peek, but they are still going to go in for that two-man push with the CZ and the USP, and the bomb is finally going to go down. So it's going to be really interesting to see if the series can actually pull this off. And Ace are whiffing a lot of shots, but doing a lot of damage as well. But when I'm trying to find the last frag, it is going to be Ace who's going to finish him off, and that is going to be the first round coming up for Team Brutality.
The Team A's coming in, and I've seen Venom play a lot of So Strong next games, a lot of pugs, and I'm not surprised he whipped that. That was a free kill. There was a player who was planting, another one who was looking completely the wrong direction. So a little bit of a hiccup, but they win the round. They keep both the players alive. They should be pretty happy with the way that played, but that panned out. ATE, they're not wasting any time. Just kind of a fast take, interesting stuff coming out from there. I'm not sure who Ryder is. Really haven't heard of him, but of course Krish. It's great for me to see him playing after so very long, right? Especially since ESL said, yeah, if you've had your ban for 2 years, you can play. So it's pretty cool to see him on board. Kappa, Hellfighter, Buster, a pretty interesting lineup, so to speak. I wouldn't have expected this lineup a few months back, but it's almost like I wouldn't call them rejects, but more like outsiders teaming up together. They are pretty promising. Like you have Kappa, who's always been a solid support-like player, can pretty much do anything. Then we have Hellfighter, who used to play in the Kolkata team. Yeah, G outfits exactly. Was always solid. Buster, he's played in so many teams. I've lost track. Krish, pretty well-known rider. Not much of a clue about him, to be honest. And they have gone for a full eco, just a few P250s, a Deagle in the mix. They'd be looking to just barrel out of apartments and try and get the bomb down. And it's going to be Juventa and Rix to do the brunt with heavy lifting. When Juventa's looking the right direction, they're waiting for something. They don't have any utility, so they're going to have to dry peek out. That's going to get a little ugly. But 25 bullets, that's all he has to work with. And here comes the action. They come charging in. Nice jump there, but Juventa mowing everyone down. Rix is going to join the party, and it is an absolute slaughter. Buster is going to be the last player. And he will at least find Juventa, but just the UMP lost. Not much sweat off the back of Brutality. And for ATE, buy time.
Oh, that's true. And also, by the way, they have actually added a new player as well, that is Deathmaker. I think he was playing for GMD back in the day. So it's going to be pretty interesting to see how the new lineup pans out, because he did, the manager did mention the fact that they're going to add two new players. It's going to be Deathmaker and one of the old school guys. So I'm not quite sure who the other guy is. But yeah, I've seen Hellfighter play as well. And Ryder is actually subbing in for Ritz today. But yeah, again, I haven't seen Ryder play a lot either. So this is a little confusing for me. But well, the Terry side, they are going to force it up because they got the C4 down in the first round and went in for the complete eco in the last round. So they are going to have the weapons to work with. And it looks like it's the default that's going to come in Buster towards Banana. And Foxy along with the team, and that is Venom playing the B bomb side. So it's a pretty simple setup coming from both the teams. Two guys towards B, three towards A bomb side, two guys watching the cross and one inside the bomb side. But the flash is pouring in towards the B bomb side. Buster is not going to spot Foxy. This is pretty surprising, and Foxy is still going to get traded out. It's going to be Venom though getting the headshot onto Krish. Will fall back. Still a man advantage to the CD side, so it is going to be a little bit difficult for the Terry side. Not really having a lot of resources to work with, and the weapons are still decent, having 2 AK-47s to try and go in for those entries, but they have to force in the rotation to be able to cut it off, because at this point this looks a little too tough for the Terry side.
Yeah, they do. Brutality have opted to turtle into the bomb sites, playing the 2-2 setup, which is fair enough. Although it does leave archway open, so that's a big gamble. And AT not really opting to go for the flank, for the wraparound through CD spawn. Instead, they're going to be committing here, which could be a problem. A-Star with the M4. The Molotov is good. He's going to get forced out from his position. He does for a few bullets, not able to quite connect. As Venom does find Kappa. That was a 3v2. As A-Star trying to go for the wall bang. Won't quite hit anyone, although I do believe it was pretty close. Ryder takes the fight. He wins it, and all of a sudden it's now a 2v2. I'm not too sure why A-Star had to go for that fight. It was a 3v2. He had the man's advantage on for his team, the man advantage rather, and yet he takes the fight and makes it in 2v2. However, Rix has no trouble pushing in. A little bit of miss comes to the flashbang, leaving all the Hellfire, but he will be caught out. Rix getting 2 crucial kills, but that could have been a little messy. The post plant's a little awkward for ATE after getting the bomb down, especially with the second last guy who died. But A-Star peeking in that 3v2 is something which I'm personally not a big fan of.
Well, that's true though, and one of the things that I was surprised about was the fact that when they did get the pick on ASA towards construction, they could have probably gone try and taken the control inside construction as well, because they had absolutely no information towards Banana. So that is something that the Terrorist could have done to try and salvage that round, but did not work out. ASA making a mistake, but somehow his team still manages to win the round. Rix getting 2 frags right there, and Hellfire, it's probably the lack of experience. The positioning was really awkward. It was in a very bad spot, being exposed by 3 different angles, Banana, CT and constructions at the same time, hiding behind a pillar. So well, that is just going to be a little too unfortunate for ATE starting up on the terrorist side. It's not the most ideal start to work with, because you want to have that first gun round going in your favor. Now it's just going to be 2 more rounds going down the drain, hopefully. And because we've seen Indian teams and we've been ranting about this for I don't even know how long, and playing anti-ecos is not something that the Indian teams are very good at. So it is going to be interesting to see. But in the meantime, Krish is going to go down to Foxy. It is going to be Asa trying to find some sort of information. Is going to be playing the cubby, playing pretty aggressive though. He has no one to back him up. So this is a pretty ballsy play coming in from him.
No one to back him up, and it is again little. I rather not. You don't risk. I don't want you to risk your rifles, especially against these pistols, but nice flashbangs. They have a plan in mind here. Juventa has given himself away. He will drop into pit as Rix is spraying and mowing people down. He's going to find 2. Juventa hasn't found anyone yet, as Rix doing a lot of work, but he is very low indeed. Juventa is going to join the party. Last player is going to be Ryder Race or find. So flawless round, pretty solid round for Brutality, considering that ATE had a play in mind. They had purchased a few pistols, a little bit of Kevlar and some utility, because they had, I think, that third round loss bonus, plus they got the bomb money as well, right? So overall, pretty solid hole, keeping all players alive. They need to start building up an economy, which is looking really solid right now for Rix. He's got 9k, an average of 6,000 A-Star, and on Venom, Foxy and Juventa, little on cash. But it's CD side Inferno, right? CD side, you want to have a solid bank. Even if you do lose 1 round, you can always bounce back. And Ryder opening things up, he will find Venom. Aggression coming out from the CTs, but Kappa and Ryder denying them anything. That's gotta hurt. I like what Brutality did there, but ATE ready and waiting. And all of a sudden, with 1 minute and 30 seconds on the clock, it's 3v5.
Yeah, they did try the right thing though, trying to catch the opposition off guard, but it didn't really work out. It's gonna be ASA though all alone towards the B bomb side. Will have to do a lot of work trying to defend the bomb side all alone, and we still have Foxy who's going to be on the rotation, so realizing that it might just be a B play, and we have Rix all alone towards a B bomb side. So the C4 is going to creep up towards Banana along with his teammates, and one of the lurkers, it's actually going to be Hellfighter towards alt mid. So yeah, this is going to be interesting to see if Ryder can find the pick onto Asa, but he's going to be going in really slowly, trying to trust his teammates right there, watching the CD base. The smokes are going to go out as well, but the Molotov not allowing the AWP to go out, and Foxy is in a really good position. Asa just being pushed up by the Molotov right there, and he might just hit one. So Ryder's going to try and find the first, and gets the second as well. What is even happening? But Ryder with the refrag coming in, they are going to get the control of the bomb site. It's going to be Rix all alone in a 1v3. Can he pull this off though? That is going to be the question. He's just going to wait it out. He might just as well get spotted, and Ryder with the 3k, getting the first pick, getting the trader as well really quickly. Even though Asa managed to somehow find those 2 frags, lining them up, and well, he's going to find the last frag onto Rix as well. So the scoreline, the first round coming in for AT Gaming on the cherry side. So it is pretty interesting, the op working out, and the push though from Brutality, even though it was an interesting push, and I liked it as well because they tried to catch the opposition off guard, but it just didn't work out. And finally Rix is going to go in for the op as well. So this is going to be interesting to see if Rix aggresses out towards apartments, or maybe just goes in towards alt mid and try and get that opening frag. But Ryder is playing without any sort of fear right there, going in towards mid, you know, being in the middle of nowhere and Rick's trying to go in for the pick towards off mid is not going to be able to find that. And Kappa might just get exposed if Rick's actually peeks out, but Ryder just playing really, taking things really slowly and holding that angle off towards Archers from mid, and you end up playing the cart. So yeah, it again looks like a pretty slow round coming from both teams.
Yeah, one thing that Brutality at least doing, since they're not going for any banana control, the fact that they at least have some control of brackets towards mid is at least commendable. But this is a setup they've had, I think, at least a couple of runs, and on the anti-eco they tried the same setup where Rix and Juventa have this crossfire setup. This can be rough because you can get overrun and you can get caught off guard because you have no eyes towards mid, right? And now Rix peeking out a little wide, trying to gather a little bit of information. It's a very risky spot. He's got to hit that flick if someone does come out from Boiler. And here comes Buster with the spoken. Buster unfortunately peeks out and will get taken down. And Rix immediately tossing in flashbacks and re-peek out again. Goes to the flick shot, goes wide. That was a little surprising for him. Juventa finds Kappa, but a quick trades come in and now Ace's got to go big and he will get taken down. Pushing it through the smoke, trying to make something happen. And now it is a 3v2. Venom is waiting at the edge of the smoke, waiting for backup to arrive in the form of Foxy. It looks like the nade sailing and taking a chunk out from Venom. It looks like it's going to be round number 2. The call for the save has rung out. And if you look at the money as well, they can still kind of afford to buy in the next round. A-Star can probably buy for himself. Venom and Foxy can drop a couple of weapons. At least Foxy can. Venom can, because he's got that incendiary and that flashbang. So he doesn't really have to buy up all the utility. He can drop maybe UMP to one of his teammates. So can Foxy. So a pretty good call coming out. But again, right, Mamba, like you see that setup coming out from Brutality, and it was rough. You might get the opening pick, but the second you get taken down, you're going to get overrun. That site's going to get overrun. And I'm not a big I'm not a big fan of that particular hole. And A-Star, again, you know, it's a 3v, I do believe it's a 3v3. He pushes in through the smoke, trying to prevent the plan of making something happen. Instead, if he could just held back a little bit, waited for his teammates to arrive, it could have been 3v3 retake. It could be just sticking around, just, you know, floating around, gathering information, and he could have made something happen. But yeah, this is unfortunate.
Yeah, he has been making a few questionable plays in this matchup. We saw a few mistakes being made, and it was not the first one, by the way. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how it actually pans out. But Rix, I was quite surprised by the way he, went to throw the Molotov. I mean, that deep Molotov was not at all needed, and that is how he got taken out. And it was quite kind of uncharacteristic as well. He missed out on that shot. But in the meantime, Buster is going to get taken down by Venom, going in for that aggression towards Banana, and barely surviving on 8 points of health. And it is going to be Foxy. He's just going to wait it out really, really casually. And the rotation is going to go in towards A-bomb side. And they have absolutely no idea that the C4 is still towards the T-base. So, well, the T side just trying to take some sort of control towards apartments and get some sort of information going in their favor. But it is going to be Krish leading the charge, taking things really slowly. No one to trade him out at this point if he peeks out. But that is not going to happen. A pretty ballsy play, though, to be honest, in my opinion. He's still trying to go and find that information, but he's not going to spot anyone. And the flashbang being thrown out as well, so might as well get taken. Now he's going to get spotted, and the CD almost find the frag onto him. It is going to be Rix, though. The Molotov going in, and one of them is actually going to fail. I think it was Juventa who failed his Molotov. And when I'm just waiting out with the CZ75, this is kind of surprising. He actually paused his M4 to his teammate right there. A pretty good decision, to be honest. And it is going to be an A take coming up. Rix inside the pits, and Kappa trying to fake towards the B bombs. He's going to be falling back as well, so not allowing the rotation to go in. But Christian trying to press back, and look at that A-second 2 frags right there. Is going to spray both of them down. Can get the third one as well. Ryder is going to get spotted, almost being taken down, barely surviving, but it's last 60 points of health to work with. Venom still going to find the frag on 8 points of health. This is something that should not be happening. But A-Star getting the third one onto Kappa and saving the round up for Team Brutality.
Yeah, I really like the setup from Brutality. They played it safe. They had 2 players turtle in the site. But the one thing which I noticed from the way AT were playing there was the fact that they kind of had to kind of committed to that play when they had no idea how many players were playing, whether it was a crossfire. They really didn't sell the fake towards B either. They just tossed in, I think, 1 flash or 1 smoke towards B. That's it. So they kind of walked in without much information into the bomb sites, right? They just went in kind of dry, and that proved to be their bane. That's a round. If they had won, they could have broken the economy for Brutality. Instead, it's their turn to get broken. They have a couple of 3 CZs, a couple of Deagles, but again, you can see money, just saving it for the next round. So let's see what they do here. And here they come charging in. Buster finds A-Star. He was all alone. Venom does trade, though. He can find another kill. Instead, he's going to fall back, but he's going to come out in the open. And this is complete utter chaos. Juventa will fall, and that's how you lose the bomb site. 2v3, but look at the health of ATE.
It's Buster on 1 point of health, Ryder on 5, and the only guy who has 100 points of health is Kappa. So this is very doable for the CTs, but there's bait setup right now. This two-man setup towards it's called the cover. Never mind. But it's gonna be Foxy coming in. Buster is gonna get taken down. But look at that, the Rider is still gonna find the flag on 5 points of health, still not being taken down, wasting a lot of time. And the nade is gonna come sailing, and Rex is going to fall back, but he's still going to find the headshot onto Rider in a 1v1. Can he pull this off though? It is gonna be Kappa. Is gonna get spotted, almost being taken down. But well, it is gonna be Kappa, being the saving grace for Team 80 and getting the round. And I almost forgot what the place was called. But yeah, that just happens sometimes, and it actually happened to me yesterday as well. So do you have any stories, Blair, where this happened to you?
Yeah, many times. It has happened to me. But that is, that's the way it goes. I do like the fact that the two players were very low. They're playing, like you mentioned earlier. We just mentioned it right now. They had the bait setup going for them, and on top of that, they did a lot of work. They knew they were expendable, and they just tried to, delay for as long as possible while Cap was playing from the side. So, AT making it work in Brutality. That A bomb side has a lot of holes. It's like a Swiss cheese of a defense. That could be problematic later on. Now, Ryder, he is trying to find something. He's got backup in the form of his teammate. Nate's gonna sail in deep. A-Star's waiting, lurking, holding the line. There's no flashbang for his teammates as Rix meanwhile finds Krish towards apartments. You want to avoid apartments, especially when you know you're facing off against a Force-Bar and anti-eco. So that's going to be, well, equal traits at the very least. And Rix will fall back. He won't be able to retrieve any weapon. He just has a Max 7. As now, it is a 4v4. However, you do see the rotation coming in from Venom towards B. And he has been pretty lethal with that CZ of his.
Well, that's been a very long time. We've seen Venom hold that, make that B bomb out on Mirage or Fortress with that CZ. In fact, been a lot of anti-eco. So this is gonna be interesting if he can actually hold this up. But this is a fake which is being sold to an extent. Venom is going to rotate towards a B bomb side, and well, the other two guys from the A bomb side have not rotated out. This is going to be interesting. They are going to go on for the backstab, but Rex having that swag 7 is going to miss out on the first shot. Ryder is going to find the flag onto Event, and Rex is still going to be on that A bomb side. Can he pull this off though? This is going to be extremely hard. This is going to be a monumental task at his hands. He's still going to spot Kappa, almost taking him down right there. He's going to find the flag. One bullet to work with. Is going to get taken down by Hellfighter, trying to make his way towards the bomb side, and Foxy is going to be on the lurk. He's going to be coming from mid, pre-frying around the corner, will get taken down by Buster, and that is going to be the fourth round coming up. So Brutality trying their best to make sure that they do a lot of damage, and in the best case scenario pull the round off as well, but does not happen. Rix, a little unfortunate, got taken down by the guy on the bomb side, trying to make his way to safety while reloading. And well, the other two guys on the B bomb side didn't really do much because they couldn't be, and the fake got sold as well. So this is looking like ATA has started there. The back looks like it might just start snowballing if Brutality cannot stop them right now.
Yeah, I mean, the money's pretty much broken, right? They're on an eco, and this is the round where they're going to be farming some cash. The Macton comes out. It is the drive-by from Hellfighter. He just finds 2 though before he gets taken down, but Krish is there to back him up. Kappa waiting in line. Rix will fall. So pretty quick round coming from Brutality. They went for pretty much a full eco because the money was not great. But ATE, they've tied things up. They've won 5 out of the past 6 rounds. That is big. It was 4-0 for Brutality. Bear in mind. So ATE, they're not doing anything special, but they are able to try and break that A bomb side hole. That's a problem for Brutality. And even Banana, the weakness in Banana is they're playing so very passively in the sites that you need to have a very solid crossfire for it to work. And right now they're getting picked off. They're not really trying anything crazy. They're not going for any Banana control. You can see right now as well, you can see Venom and Foxy both playing default and very safe. And that's a problem. You don't get any map control means, the rotations are going to take forever. You have no idea what the T's are going to do. And for ATE, that's pretty much, they're just not going to be, they're going to be very happy with this. Look at where Buster and Krish are. They're already towards Boiler with 1:30 seconds on the clock. That should not be happening. And we also have Kappa pushed up towards the top of Banana, so they have map control galore. And again, they have the setup with Rix and Juventa playing from shelter, playing from quads, the back-to-back. The only difference being this time A-Star is playing from Graveyard, but you know what this means? It leaves Archway completely open. They can literally walk on Archway and make something work. AT don't know this right now, but if they figure that out, that's going to be a massive problem. So it's a game of no information play, as Ryder will try and find a peek. He will get punished by Foxy, so at least that goes the way of Brutality. However, with 50 seconds remaining on the clock, they have no smokes remaining on the CT side.
Well, this is something we've seen 2EZ do a lot as well. The first matchup that was 2EZ was Entity, and the reason why it worked out for 2EZ was because their crossfires were really strong, but I still did mention it to Tito. And, well, but getting back to the game, right, it's going to be Venom throwing the flashbang, which might just blind everyone, and it is just going to be Kappa who's going to get blinded. Just waiting now towards it. Triple Fox. He's going to go around the corner, but Fox with the crossfire, getting the first one, getting the second one as well. Hellfire is going to get taken now. A really, really good fadeaway headshot, and A-Star is going to go down to Kappa. Getting the second shot as well. What is happening? Kappa on 50 points of health. Venom might just get taken down, and Venom with a really, really good headshot. Crisp headshot onto Kappa is still going to be the round for Brutality after a very, very long time. So yeah, talking about map control, right? This is something that 2EZ does a lot, and they do it well because their crossfires and the way they hold the side just works out. Their trading game is so strong, and that is not happening for Brutality. And one of the other things why Entity was, you know, literally destroying 2EZ in terms of information was because they were giving away a lot of information and a lot of map control early on in the round, and not, you know, they were not making Entity struggle for the map control. They had all the resources in the world they needed to work with to, you know, make those execution plays, and that just did not work out. So this is something that has been happening to Brutality, though they have some fancy crossfires, but yeah, they're giving up a lot of map control and a lot of map information, and that is one of the reasons why their rotations are absolutely terrible right now.
Yeah, and AT haven't really exploited that well so far. Now, I mean, if they go towards Archer, there's no one. They're nice nade there sailing in. I do believe that was from Juventa. He has been smoked up. Molotov's keeping him trapped in the corner. Those remaining members of ATE. Then Rix gets spotted out. He could have got a kill there instead. He takes a ton of damage, and he's going to fall on it. Juventa's going to get sprayed out through the smoke. You hate to see it. As he gets taken down, Rix internally hemorrhaging inside a pit. So Foxy, he's got to go big again. He was instrumental in Brutality winning the previous round, but now he's playing it safe as the remaining players are going to come charging out from Library. There is a player in the site that is A-Star, but he's going to fall, and it is all on Rick to do something. He finds one kill despite everything, and he gets taken down. Foxy will miss the spray completely. Horrendous spray it was from him. That's got to be gutting, because he gets taken out, I do believe, with a no-scope, and now it's all Mr. Captain Cool from Brutality, Venom. But no matter how big his biceps are, this might be a little too much of a hard ask for him. He's going to fall back.
Well, I have to try and save their whip now, because the amount of cash that the CD side has is not really good, and they are going to not have the losing bonus either. They're just going to have $1,400 coming in, so they will have to go in for the force buy, because it is the double eco territory they're looking at, and try and risk it and not allow the terror side to build up that economy. So yeah, when I'm falling back, a pretty decent round coming for ATE, and what I'm surprised by is the fact that the way Brutality has been playing, because this is not the way they usually play, right? They do go in for the map control. This is something new that we're seeing today. Even though, you know, Asa and Foxy came in a little too late, they have played with them before, but again, you know, coming back to the old lineup. But the way these guys have been playing is surprising me a little. What do you have to say about that?
I'm sorry, you think you just broke up a little bit there.
Oh, well, it's just the Indian internet. So yeah, what I was saying was the way Brutality has been playing today.
Yes.
A little uncharacteristic. We've seen them go for the map control early on Inferno as well, and today they are playing a little different. They are trying out new crossfires, some fancy crossfires they've come up with. So I'm kind of surprised. What do you have to say about that?
Yeah, I'm not too impressed, to be very honest. Like, they're playing even the default setups, right? Like the Inferno and the CD side, it's not that easy unless you're playing against you know, a complete pug team, right? You want to have that map control. You want to, you know, catch them off guard. You want to have some okay, there we go, Venom getting the kill. But yeah, you want to have some map control, and I think that's, I've been harping on this time and time again. I think that is an absolute necessity, especially in a map like this, to try and prevent the avenues for ATE to work with. And ATE right now, they're giving so much freedom to move around, to do what they want. Although that peek from Krish, I do believe should have been traded instead of a teammate who was peeking alongside him, but he gets taken down. Now this is what I'm not a big fan from ATE. The second they get taken down or they face some pressure on the other side, they just start rushing in to the other site, which makes no sense to me, right? I mean, you still have a lot of time to work with. Feel it out, right? Just pushing in as Ryder gets a kill. Rix from the balcony does his very best to find a kill, and now it's Foxy with a P250, leaving it all on Ryder, who has been quite impressive so far with that op of his, especially on the T side. It's no easy ask. He spots out Foxy, not able to quite land it. He'll have to go for the reload, running out of bullets in that clip of his. 2v2, Nate sails in. Foxy take a bit of damage, not too much though, and Venom will come to his rescue, rips his head clean off his shoulders, and that's going to be a round for Brutality. But I don't get what AT are doing there, right? You lose your first player over at B fair enough, right? And then you just announce, you telegraph the fact that running into A, one player comes out from Boiler, gets picked off by the CZ, by Juventa, close range, and then you just charge in with no plan in mind. You like, they were acting like they had like 10 seconds remaining to get the bomb done, which is not the case. You had a minute to work with. So AT, little reminiscent of a chicken losing its head. I don't know. I really don't know why they're going for these plays, but Brutality, you're going to be thankful for it. They managed to get another round. That's going to be 7-6. A-Star with the op now. That's something you don't see that often.
Oh, we did see it in the last game, and we had A-Star opping a lot. Actually, Rix barely opped that match, so this is something they have been trying as well. But yeah, talking about the last round, I actually liked how Foxy played. Did not make the mistake that A-Star made, not being a little too impatient, and making sure that he wasted the time, making sure that the rotation came in, and well, A-Star is just going to smoke it off. So yeah, pretty good play from Foxy coming in as well. But on the Terrace side, they have not went in for the banana control this time around. It's only going to be A-Star being a little aggressive towards banana with the op to work with. So this is a good read coming from Brutality, and Juventa is going to be waiting down on top of the apartments while Rix stands on top of the box. So a really good crossfire while Foxy watches the arch area. This is going to be a slaughterhouse if AT Gaming walks in towards a bomb site, and this is something that only time will tell us. While Kappa gets taken down, Ryder is going to be waiting down towards the A apartments, having a Macton to work with, and Deagle as well. So quite an interesting buy. I mean, yeah, Deagle for the long range, but Juventa is just going to wait it out, trying to find that frag. And Juventa, look at that, the flashbang landing, and Friday is going to get taken down. It's going to be Buster is going to go down as well, and in the meantime, it is going to leave Hellfight all alone. It's going to fall to Rix. And again, yeah, slaughterhouse towards A bomb side. It's going to be the last round coming up of the first half, and that was a brilliant read coming from Team Brutality.
Yeah, I mean, like, when you have A-Star perch on top of the mini wall over Banana with that op, he's got all the information in the world. He's like, guys, there's no one coming B, there's no one at the bottom of Banana. You can just keep 4 guys at A, right? All you need to do is just spot someone or maybe take a shot, fall back towards B, then call the rotation. So 4-man stack. That's what happens, right? That's what happens when you don't really pressure any other side. And AT have been, I think, lacking a little bit there. They haven't really shown much. They used to earlier in this half, but all of a sudden they seem to be committing too many players. There was that Buster getting completely separated from the rest of his teammate, gets punished. Venom's going to take him down, who's kind of low. He's been tagged down a bit, but he's going to fall back to safety. But yeah, I mean, if you're just going to completely give up a site, and if Brutality at least mixing it up, you know, this time around, they went for that little bit of information play, like putting A-Star on top, and that's what happens when you have that information to work with. You can stack the right site. You can have your players gathered up together in a site where, you know, you have a better advantage. Venom should be careful there. There was no need for him to announce himself, because those traces can be seen, and Kappa will take him down. He was pretty low as well, so an unnecessary death there, I do believe, is a 5v3, now a 5v4. However, ATE, they really don't have much to work with, do they? 2 smokes, 2 flashbangs, a Galil and Hellfighter. And a Dream to at least get round number 7 here.
Well, that is going to be a monumental task though, but well, the smoke is going to go in towards the CT base. Foxy is going to get boosted up top, so this might not just be the round for AT, but he's going to get blinded, just waiting it out on top, and Rix is going to be making his way towards the coils, or coffins as you might want to call it. Now the Foxy is going to get taken. Rix missing out on a shot is something that is very uncharacteristic with the op. It's still going to be Juventa and Ace on the retake in a 2v3 situation. So this is still something that is doable for them. They have a kid and 2 flashes to work with. Now the C4 is going to get spotted. Or maybe not. The C4 is not going to get spotted. He's planting safe. But it is going to be Kappa alongside Ryder. We have no idea that the C4 has been planted on that side. Maybe they do Ace. Is it Ryder? It's actually going to be Hellfighter is going to find the frag on the Juventa while A-Star gets decapitated by Kappa, and that is going to be the end of the first half. The scoreline is going to be 8-7 in the favor of Team Brutality, and this has been quite an interesting half. We've seen quite a few mistakes being made from both the sides, but we've seen certain interesting rounds as well from both the teams. So in the pistol round, Rix is going to go in for the P250. He's actually going to get dropped the P250. It is going to be Juventa who's going to have the smoke and the P250. And on the CT side, it is, well, they don't have any kits yet to work with, so it might just as well be Kappa who's going to buy it up. And that happens. So kit and 2 flashes to work with on the chair side. Only 1 smoke and 2 and on 1 P250. So what do you make of this round?
Yeah, the P250 getting dropped. I mean, Juventa, he went for the smoke buy, so he had like, I think, $500 to work with, and he's like, all right, you know, I got enough cash for a better, you know, slightly more long-range weapon than the Glock. So dropping it over to Rix, and why not? But Rix missing a few shots for Brutality, right? I mean, 4v3. They went for a default, you know, smokes, 1 CT, 1 towards coffins, and yet they weren't able to hold. They didn't get a single kill in the defense, so that's got to be a little worrying factor. ATE, though, 7 rounds on the T side, that's quite a lot to work with. They have Kappa, taking 1 for the team as he usually does. He's got a kit. He's got a flashbang as Buster gets spotted out. Rix will find him immediately. Snaps around. How is Rix still alive? I don't know, but he's gonna find two. He does make up for some of the whiffs that he had earlier, but now it's retake time. It's a Hellfighter. It is Kappa, and Kappa has a kit. So that's something going their way rather. One flash.
That takes a lot of pressure off you because you do have the kit and the flashbang was on, but it's still going to be Kappa who's going to get taken out. Hellfighter just waiting it out while Venom gets a dink onto him, and this is just a matter of time till the time that Brutality wins around. But yeah, it was a really good try, the flash being on point, and when you have the kid in the first round especially, it just takes a lot of pressure off you because you do realize and you do know that you only need 5 seconds to defuse the bomb, and when you do not have that kid, you just tend to make a few mistakes while trying to rush in towards a bomb site. So, and that was a situation which favored the series a little more than they it could have if they didn't have the kid. But yeah, the CD is going in for the force buy. It is going to be Ryder who's going to go in on a complete eco right now to try and get that off in the buy round, and it is going to be Uinta who's going to try and farm some cash with the Macton alongside Acer and Foxy are the UMP45s to work with. And one of the reasons why I'm personally so fond of the Macton is because of the mobility that it gives you, while you can just jump around the corners and still connect the shots.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you can just run and gun, get the skills. What I'm not a big fan of here is the fact that they have everyone pushed up towards mid, which is fair enough, but they have no one marking the flank. So if AT had opted to push Banana, they would have been walking in with their back, everyone had their backs turned to them. So a couple of small things. You want to have someone marking the flank, especially on anti-eco. You got to play anti-eco right, and instead they're going to come charging into the site. And Buster's ready and waiting. He finds one, not able to get a second kill. Uventa will mow him down, but the rotation is already in play. A-Star gets dinked down. He will, however, survive. He's gonna make his way into the pit. Ryder being very sneaky. Beautiful play from Ryder. He pushes in, he finds Uventa. Hellfighter finds Foxy. It's all an A-Star who is only a 23 HP, and Ryder clutches it out. Crucial kill. Beautiful movement from him. Just using the timing. The second the smoke dissipated, he just curved his way into the site like Foon of old. Gets the kill, and Brutality, they lose a round they had no business losing. It's gutting to watch anti-egos go that way.
Well, that was a beautiful play from Ryder, though, pushing through that smoke in the most perfect time possible and getting those two very crucial frags. That was just beautiful counter-strike being played out by Ryder. Well, yeah, the anti-eco going in the favor of the CD side, which should not have happened, but we have Brutality, and this time around it's going to be AT's chance to try and lose this anti-eco, because there was literally no way Brutality could have lost that. But yeah, still going to do that. Rex is going to get blinded. He's going to fall back with the Deagle, trying to get that early opening. Only guy towards Banana along with the Steven now is coming to help him, and Venom is going to be the one leading the charge. They still have the flashes to work with, so they could try and get that entry, but Hellfighter having the FAMAS to work with, and Rix is not going to get spotted.
It's hard to spot him with the flame, so yeah, Rix unfortunate there. Oop. Hellfighter, he somehow survives. That is such a risky play there. I'm not a big fan of that. They will swap weapons, MP9. But yeah, map control getting rested by Brutality early on, and considering they just have pistols, that's pretty solid.
That's pretty solid, and well, they still have 4 CZs to work with. Not a lot of bullets though, because you just run off, you chew through bullets really quickly on CZ. It's still going to be Hellfighter with the crossfire going on. Kappa is going to be trying his best to make sure that Hellfighter does not get pushed, because he only has MP9 to work with on 19 points of health. It's even more difficult, but the flashbang is going to go up, and one is going to get taken out. Hellfighter still find the first one, can get the second as well. It's going to go in, but they get traded out. The Foxy getting 2 frags in the first one on the Kappa and Hellfighter. And well, it is going to be Ryder who's spamming through the smoke, will not connect a shot. And Chris trying to be a little too ambitious. He's going to try and spam the offense. He's not going to find anyone. Foxy is going to get spotted as well, so they do have the information about 2 players at least, not realizing that there are 2 players in the same spot. So it is going to be Krish alongside his team and leading the shot. The flashbang though, again on point. Well, such nice counter flashes coming in from the Cherry side, and this retake is going to be really hard. Foxy playing it to perfection, wasting so much more time than he should have, and Ryder almost being taken down right there. But it's going to be Rix who's going to get taken down, and you went again the frag on a Buster. Ryder trying to get the frag, is not going to be able to connect any shots, and Foxy still surviving. What is even happening right now? Krish is going to go down, and Foxy, you went getting 2 frags, and he played it to... I don't even have words to explain this.
Yeah, Foxy, that was just brilliant stuff from him. I don't think he even had bullets remaining at one point. I think he just had a CZ, but all he did was just try and stay alive, dancing around the boxes, the dance macabre, and somehow they managed to seal that round away. But I mean, this is basically a game of how not to play the anti-ecos, at least the second half. Brutality, they had a horrible anti-eco, just pushing into the A bomb side, getting ecoed by AT, and now AT's turn. That's, I mean, like I said, right, that's what happens. You don't want to play this close range encounters, especially when you're playing Turtle from the side. Those CZs are going to be deadly at that range. You want to play it a little bit more passively. Now, I'm not sure why A-Star is going to come charging in towards apartments. Buster will find the kill with a P250. You want to play a little bit more back. You want to use the range advantage you have. And now Buster, he's picked up the Galil, is going to be falling back. In the meantime, it's the rest of the team pushing in. It is, however, pretty much a hard eco. Nice Molotov there. And Ryder is not quite burning, though. The flames are right in front of him, and Venom will have no trouble farming a little bit of cash there.
Well, that is exactly what I talked about. Venom just jumping across the corner and gets the headshot onto the CD being boosted up. Though I think it was Hellfighter, and Krish is still going to find the headshot onto Venom. Getting some amount of money to work with, $300 extra. That just equalizes the amount of money spent on the P250, and it is going to be Buster just waiting. They're trying to salvage that Galil, and they do have, well, they don't really have a lot of cash to work with, so I think it makes sense to salvage that Galil. Though I'm not a huge fan of that weapon, but when you don't have the cash, there's literally no other options. And Krish is going to try and make some more money because he has literally nothing to lose. Or is he going to try and go in for the... Well, he can't do the ninja because he doesn't have a kit to work. He's still going to be on the backside trying to find the frag, but, well, Uenta, being ever so sharp, is going to find the frag onto Krish, and it is going to be Buster who's going to save that gun up on the CD side, and that's going to be the 11th round coming up for Team Brutality. And yeah, you know, anti-eco is being played out terribly, but finally Brutality ending the curse because it was a complete eco on the CET side and, you know, pulling the round off.
Yeah, I mean, if they lost the USPs, I would have just, like, I don't know what I would have done. I would probably just quit myself. But they do manage to convert, so that's a good thing. ATE will be a double eco. However, they will have enough cash to go for a little bit of a, you know, expenditure there. Krish with the deagle and armor, a multitude of nades. So 3 nades, a couple of smokes, a handful of flashbangs, and they have all 3 players charging in towards Banana. And I like this from Brutality, avoiding Banana where they can get destroyed by the nades. Instead, they're going to come charging out towards mid. Foxy saving his teammate there. Ryder will survive. And meantime, Kappa just floating around towards the smoke. This is a round that Brutality want to win with minimal casualties because they got rifles on almost all these players, right? They don't want to give away that. So they want to just try and play it as safe as possible. Buster's the problem. He's got that Galil. He can deal out some damage, and even if he loses it, it's fine because it's going to be buy time anyway. The next round, and Kappa is going to come. Ooh! Krish decapitates Foxy, and that's going to give a free gun. They have a flashbang to work with as well. 3v3. Bear in mind, Rix is very low indeed. However, Rix and A-Star, they chime in simultaneously. Kappa's going to be left alone. I think they have an inkling where he is. A-Star is looking for him, and there is no hiding when A-Star is on the hunt. 12-8. They survive, and now it's a buy time.
For a moment, I actually felt that Kappa got the flick, and I was like, ooh,
yeah,
right.
even I thought it was Kappa with a USU. Then I'm like, oh, alright, the deagle shot. Nonetheless, a great shot.
It was a great shot. It's a pretty hard angle to hit, especially when you have an op to work with. And nonetheless, it is going to be Ryder with the op on the CT side. This is going to be the round for Ryder because he has been playing decently well with the op. But on the tier side, Rix or Asa, neither of these guys are wielding the op. So this is going to be interesting. Unless Ryder plays passive, it should not be an issue. But if he goes in for that aggressive picks, this could just be a round which Brutality might not expect with the op to come in. But the flashbang is going to get thrown in. This is going to be a quick mid take coming in. This is really interesting. And impressive. Krish is going to find the first track. Venom is going to get taken down. It is going to be Buster. They're going to work first. And trying to go for the spray down as well. Gets the second guy. Foxy is going to fall out. It's going to be Krish with a perfect crossfire. But Rix is going to find the second frag as well. It's going to be Buster who's going to get taken down. And Ryder watching the cross, but well, both of the guys have already crossed and are on the bomb side. So this is just going to be a little too hard for Ryder to try and salvage. By Rix is going to get backstabbed by Kappa, being taken down from the left side. And what a shot by Ryder. Asa is going to go down as well, and that is going to be the 9th round coming up for the CET side.
I really don't get this tendency of Brutality and AT as well. They kind of did the same thing, a very similar thing earlier on their T side, where this bursting out towards mid. Look, it's not like you can't burst out towards mid. You can explode out towards mid, towards the brackets area, but you need to be a little bit more coordinated than that. There was no one marking towards archway, so that was a free kill. The first kill that went the way of ATE was no one marking there. There were no flashes popping out as well. They're just going in kind of dry, and when you go in dry, it's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt a lot, and that's what happened. Like I don't get this. And Ryder, he's been hitting some nice shots. Being very floaty with the AWP as well. And for AT right now, I like what they're doing, you know, the 3-man stack towards Banana, but I think they wait a little too long And here they come aggressing out. So they're getting some map control, but A-Star ready and waiting. Perfect flashbang as well. And Kappa is getting perforated. Ven's gonna get the kill. One player, Krish, and he's on 23 HP. Being hunted down. He finds one. Not able to get a second. Venom's gonna find him. And that's the B bomb site getting completely taken over by Brutality. 2v4. And unless Ryder does something completely, absolutely humongous, this is gonna be the round done and dusted.
Well, this is the time, this is a round where you can rise and shine. And, tell the other guys on the server that, I exist and I've been playing recently over the op, but it's going to be Venom is going to be pushing through the smoke. Will get taken down and Buster. Find the frag Rider is going to have an A to work with. Look towards a triple box. Will not do any such damage. And Foxy, ooh, that would have been really, really cheesy if we could have hit that shot. But A-Side is going to be on the backstab. Here the first one. Can he get the second as well? A Rider just peeking around the corner of the ball. So he's going to flash him out and he's going to fire the shot. He's going to get burned alive, being cooked right there towards construction. And well, that is going to be the 13th round, and that is going to take away the losing bonus from the CD side, and they have absolutely no money to work with. This is the worst possible state they could be in this matchup at this point.
Absolutely. The money is completely wrecked. It's going to be Eco City, and even if they... You know what, I think like it just makes sense to force it up right now, because here's the problem, right? Even if they eco this, they're going to get $1,900 for the next for this round, so they're still going to have pretty abysmal amount of money to work with, even if they go for a full eco this round. And Kappa gets taken down so massively. Flashbang's good. Kappa somehow survives, and oh my word, what's even going on? I don't believe this. I did not believe this. It's a 1v1. And they just died to USPs. I don't get this pushing in and, just trying to force your way into a side scenario, because...
What could have made more sense at this point, but nonetheless, it is going to be Rick's reaching down, almost being taken down, right? The Krish just whiffing that shot, and Riggs did not know that he was pushing up. So this is going to be interesting. The Molotov is going to get thrown out, making sure that he cannot fall back to the CD base, and Krish is going to pick up the weapon up as well. So this is going to be interesting. The flashbang being thrown on Krish. It's going to try to avoid it now. What? What is even going on? This should not have happened. This should not have... There's no chance in hell that Riggs could have missed that shot. This is not the round to lose Brutality. This is not how we lose a round.
Oh... Listen, so I just came back from Kiev. I was at the Betsnet Masters, and we had like teams like Virtus.pro. We saw teams like North. We saw a lot of pretty well-known teams. The one team which I saw was a team called Fraxters from Denmark. They took down VP twice in 2 best-of-3s. They took down Gambit as well in the best-of-3. They came not very close, but they also took a fight to Hellraisers, who are looking very solid right now, and North. Here's the thing, if they played any of the rounds the way that round was played by ATE, they would not have won. They wouldn't have won Jack, right? That is the complete opposite of how you play an anti-eco. Why rush in? Why are these guys rushing in? They do realize that this is, you have a minute and 40 seconds, like more than 40 minute and 40 seconds to work with. You have time. You have the weaponry advantage. Your opponents are in eco, and yet this tendency to take fights time and time again. This is not deathmatch. This is not a random pug. There's quite a bit at stake here, and if this is the way that you're going to be playing in a serious match, I don't see them winning anything against tier 2 teams, as Rick somehow finds a killer to Krish smoke. And tell you what, though, it does keep you on your toes. It does keep you on your toes, Mamba. Because right now it's a 2v2.
And Hellfire almost finding the frag onto Asa. He's gonna be falling back, and Asa barely surviving on 16 points of health. Rix is gonna find the 3rd headshot with the Deagle, and this is almost an anti-eco of sorts, and this I don't even know what exactly is going on in this matchup. But the mid push that came in from Brutality 2 rounds back, 2 or 3 rounds back, this is something they could have pulled off in the last round. That would have made more sense, because it's not a choke point to hold with the pistols. It still would have made a little more sense rather than just rushing down Banana, and somehow they end up losing that round. So it's going to be Buster in a 2v1, and this is going to be interesting. Rick's getting 3 headshots with that Eagle, doing a lot of work. Ace already having a frag to work with, so it is going to be Buster, who already has found 2 frags. Will have to make it a quad kill, and look at the amount of frags Ace has, and Rick has 26 frags to work with. It's going to be Buster, though, having a flash to work with, no kid. Oh well, he's going to find a kid right at his feet, so this is going to relax him a bit, but Asa is going to make some noise. He's going to give away his possession, and this is the best this is the best bait and switch set going towards A-box. He's going to get spotted, and Riggs does not have to peek. Why would you do that? Wow. Why?
That was nuts from Buster, though. That was crazy from Buster. The spray transfer. And Buster keeps ATE alive because here's the thing, Mamba. If they had lost that round, Brutality would be on 14 and ATE would be completely, utterly broke. So they survived despite the heroics of Rix. Some heroic stuff coming out from both A-Star and... sorry, from Rix and from Buster. But in the end, not to be. 13-11. It's a pretty tight scoreline. And I don't know, like... You could pretty much write a textbook of what not to do on Inferno based off what's going on here. Honestly, I'm getting a little tilted. You know, this is my first. By the way, this is my first game of Indian Counter-Strike I'm casting this year. You know, it's me coming back to my roots, so to speak. You know, getting back to some good old curry casting, getting back to some good old curry Counter-Strike, and I was looking forward to it. I'm like, hey, maybe things might have changed right now. You know, we have so many new teams playing. You know, some exciting new prospects on the horizon, and then I come in and then I see this, and it depresses me, you know. It depresses
I'll tell you what though, Too Easy and Entity, that's a matchup that you would love to watch and love to cast, because the first match it was in the same map and these guys were playing brilliantly. Even the Equitas obviously would not be happy with the way Entity played because they did make a few mistakes, but that was a matchup. I think that was one of the best Indian matches that I had seen in a very, very long time. So that match, you know, gave me some hopes. The second match did give me some hopes, but the last 2 days have just been absolutely terrible. Because, you know, the plays, right, they just don't make sense at times. And in the meantime, Kappa is going to get taken down towards the B-bomb side. Still is going to be Hellfighter trying to hold the bomb side. Is going to get taken down by Foxy, and Rix is going to go down to Hellfighter. So doing some amount of damage, and Ace are holding a really good angle. The CDs are not going to expect this 19 points of health and playing it brilliantly. Knows that he cannot take a conventional fight, cannot hold a conventional angle, and almost being taken out right there. Ryder is going to go down.
Gotta save.
Yeah, they have to save it.
Yeah, they have to save because money is, oh boy, this is painful. This is just painful for ATE. And if you could just look at the way the rounds have been traded, look at that. Like, the first 4 rounds, yes, 5 rounds rather, kind of going the way Brutality. But I think like 3 or 4 anti-ecos have been lost so far in one half. That shouldn't be happening, right? And Brutality, 14-11, 2 rounds remaining for ATE. They have this AWP and M4 to work with, and nothing else. We might even see just a force coming out here. I don't think they're going to be looking to play overtime. Yeah, they're just going to force that, because if they lose this round, they're still going to be broke. So might as well try and force something when you have an M4 and an AWP to work with, right? So it is going to be a force fight coming out. However, what they do with this remains to be seen. Brutality looking hot here. Although they, yes, like we've spoken about it time and time and again, you know, the anti-egos are a little rough, but at least they're winning some of these rounds a bit more cleaner than when they face off against eco rounds.
In this one, I'm expecting a little too much from Krish because they don't have the resources to hold off the push. So Krish will have to go in aggressive and try and get those early openings to push Brutality back a bit, and, you know, make sure that they delay the pushes. They use up all of the resources, because the amount of utility that the CTs have, it's going to be impossible to hold off and execute if it comes. But well, on the other side, Brutality does not have enough resources either. So this is going to be the round where Krish will have to, you know, step it up and try and get those openings with the op. So it is something that only time will tell us, but in the meantime, we have the terrorist side taking control of the apartments area and the boiler area as well. Everyone towards mid, no one watching Banana, no one watching Archers as well. So Krish is trying to hold that angle off. It's going to spot the terrorist, though. It's going to fall back. A-Style almost being taken out right there, falling back at the most perfect time possible. So yeah, 55 seconds on the clock to work with. It's going to be Buster being boosted up top, and standing on top of the railing, and Ryder is holding slightly. Well, this is I'm not fond of this angle, especially with this weapon. I would rather hold off an off angle. But well, the flashbang is gonna get thrown. It's not going to blind anyone, and Buster is waiting out. But well, Krish is gonna get traded out really quickly. It is getting Buster in the first one. Gonna get the second as well. Nope, Rix is just going to jump around the corner with the UMP45, getting the frag onto him. It is going to be Kappa and Hellfighter in a 2v3. This is going to be the situation where they do or die, and they have to absolutely win this round to try and get the comeback rolling again. So Brutality having the bomb down. Post spawns are fairly decent. They are not the best, but they're still okay. We have Rix inside pits with the, well, he has the AK-47, hasn't picked up the op yet. So Foxy and Asa on the bomb side, being on top, and the Molotov is going to flash him out. So the utility being used to perfection, right? The Hellfighter is going to go down though, and it's going to be Kappa find the reflag onto Asa, while Foxy gets a trade onto Kappa. So this is going to be match point, and AT do not have a lot of money to work with.
Yeah, I mean, What do you do from this, right? In an idea, I would have liked them to save those 2 guns because, you know, if they had those 2 rifles saved, at least this force would have looked a little bit more convincing. But 3 Caesars and 2 Deagles. But hey, I'm not gonna jinx anything. I think, like we said, I think we've seen like 4 or 5 anti-ecos lost in a span of 26 rounds. So anything can happen. As long as Brutality don't just rush into a site with their eyes blindfolded. Let's not do that. Things can work out. Buster being very, very ballsy as A-Star opens things up, but a quick trade comes in. Kappa picks up an AK-47, and Buster is down to 8 HP. That's what happens when you walk down that walkway, that hallway. Yeah, I mean, nerves, and I like how Kappa looks so sad. I don't know if you noticed his face, but he was looking really sad, just like staring at Buster and going like, why are you doing this to me? As Venom finishes the job that that Buster started. And the AK is out in no man's land. It's a 3v4, and Brutality, if they play this right, I don't see them losing this round.
Oh, I'm sorry, I just can't help but laugh. I know I tried really hard not to laugh, but
that was fun. That was fun.
But nonetheless, it's going to be Ryder holding that angle off with the Deagle. It is going to be Foxy, though, being a little too aggressive towards mid, but the flashbang is going to be coming in, trying to fake it. I'm not quite sure, but Foxy is going to get taken out right over the crisp headshot on the Foxy. It's still going to get reduced to a 3-3, and Venom, Rix, and Uent on the chair set, having all the utility in the world they need to work with, and the bomb set is going to get flashed. Hellfighter in a really good spot will get taken down, though. And it is going to be Buster and Ryder trying to salvage this round and this map as well. I think AT Gaming have lost both the games they've played on stream. And one of the matches was off the stream, so I'm gonna be kind of surprised if AT lose this one as well. I mean, if they can pick this one up, but it doesn't look like it. Ryder is gonna be in a 1v3, does not have a kit to work with either, and the post plants are fairly decent as well. So this is going to be an almost impossible task, but nonetheless, this is gonna go in and will get taken down by Rix, and the scoreline is going to be 16-11. So, well, not the best match to cast when you come back from a really, really long hiatus from Indian Counter-Strike, but I hope you guys enjoyed the match. I hope you guys enjoyed the cast as well, because it was the first time Blair and I were casting together. But well, it was an honor and a pleasure casting for you guys. Until the next time, it's going to be Blair and Mamba signing off.
Welcome everybody to the ESL India Premiership 2018 Summer Season Master League. We just got done with the Counter-Strike Global Offensive game between Team Brutality and ATE Gaming, which went into Team Brutality's favor excellently. Like I had said, not a pug-based map. Absolutely on point from Brutality, although they did fumble somewhere. In fact, it was closely contested till a certain point of time by ATE, basis on a lot of mistakes made on both sides. Maybe the gameplay could have been improved. I'm pretty sure if Adi was here, would have definitely agreed with me on a lot of points here. But that sums up today's game, the Brutality game. We'll be back again with Dota 2 in a short while, but right now, we will go on